on, guys? Victor here with a brand new video. Just wanted to apologize in advance just because I tried making another video last night. I wanted to put it up last night as well since I had already made another one I deleted this one by accident because I was trying to delete obviously some pictures, some other videos just to make up some more space, but I deleted that video up by accident and I permanently deleted it on the recently deleted folder on my iPad, so there's no way I could be able to get it back, sadly. So here I go, having another crack at it. So obviously with the last video I was talking about the top performances in UFC 257 just because they were full of good performances, full of good fighters that had good finishes in there. Obviously, I want to continue talking about Magomedov because he is a special individual. He did make history with the UFC 2 years ago when he became the first Uzbekian, basically someone who's Uzbekian is someone that's fighting or living out of or was born in Uzbekistan, which is a country in lower Central Asia, basically near Russia. It's near Kazakhstan, near Tajikistan. It's in that whole entire region of the world, and as we all see, there's more fighters coming out of Kazakhstan, more fighters coming out of Uzbekistan. So definitely an increase of MMA fighters coming out of that region of the world, and definitely broadening the whole entire sport of mixed martial arts, which is what I like to see. Also, he made a different amount of history 2 years ago when he did sign with the UFC. He became the first UFC fighter to be signed or to be a part of, because he was already part of this team. He was already part of this team, or the special team of selected individuals that is basically headlined, it's owned, and it's basically directed by one of the most powerful individuals in combat sports and one of the most powerful individuals in sports in general. This is the money team. The person that owns the money team, the person that is in charge of the money team is Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Money Mayweather. One of the best, if not the best, boxers in the history of the sports. Also, one of the most powerful and influential sports figures in all of sports history. Obviously, when you think about an MMA fighter being signed to the money team, being a part of that whole entire club, because all those fighters are boxers. All those fighters are good boxers. Basically, the one best boxer that Floyd has in his whole entire arsenal of fighters in the money team is Gervonta Davis. The rest of those other guys are some pretty well-known boxers on their own right. But Floyd and MMA. Floyd's already had his mark on MMA for the past 2 years now, ever since Magomedov has been in the promotion. Magomedov has already notched one KO, another KO, and then a decision. Magomedov was supposed to fight last year in 2020. He was scheduled to fight 4 different opponents, but all those fights fell through. So obviously, the guy is trying to stay active in the UFC. He's 30 years old. He's in his prime. He's trying to make more headlines. He's trying to make more waves. And part of that is also trying to increase the brand of Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Money Mayweather is a very smart man. He's a business savvy individual. So, in order to delve into mixed martial arts, he didn't just do it by signing Magomedov, because both these men actually had a very close relationship. Muradov has already stated multiple times that Mayweather has taken care of him on different occasions. Mayweather has contacted him on different occasions. If Muradov ever needs anything, he'll call Mayweather, and Floyd will give it to him right off the bat. That's the one thing about Floyd. He takes care of his own. If you're signing with the money team, Floyd's going to do everything in his power to make sure that you're successful, not only in the ring, but also in life. So obviously when I heard that Magomedov was signed with the money team and that he was the only fighter signed with Floyd Mayweather's promotion, I was kind of surprised at first, but I wasn't, because Mayweather has always talked about, for the past couple years, being a part of MMA. He's always talked about fighting in MMA, but I believe the fighting part was kind of to distract us, because we all know he was never going to fight in MMA. I guess his true goal was wanting to get a mixed martial artist from the money team, sign one himself, basically talent that he's able to find by himself, not with the help of Dana White, not with the help of Scott Coker, not with the help of Ray Seth or any other MMA promoters out there, no, but by himself, He did it by himself. He got Muradov into the UFC by himself because Muradov had long ways to go before even getting into the promotion. He was fighting in the Czech Republic. He was fighting in basically all around Europe before he even got a chance to fight in the UFC. So he was able to build up his record to the point where he was able to get into the UFC himself with the help of Floyd Money Mayweather. And now that Floyd has a fighter in the UFC, not only that he has a fighter in the UFC, but his fighter's been in there for the last 2 years. Floyd Mayweather has been a part of the UFC for the past 2 years now, having a fighter in there, basically doing this all under our noses. Now I found out about this because of John Anik, obviously the commentating team, John Anik, Daniel Cormier, and Paul Felder. But as the play-by-play guy, John Anik is usually the one who gets all this insider information on all these different fighters. So he usually spats out all these different facts during the fights about these fighters' lives outside of the octagon, what they do to prepare for the fight, what they do to train, where they're currently living, if they move, if they're part of something big. Obviously, he was the one that broke the news that Muradov was part of the money team. So I basically applaud Floyd Mayweather for this. He's a very smart individual. He didn't want any of us to know that he was a part of the UFC already, so he can continue to let his fighter keep on fighting. And as his fighter continues to gain success in the UFC, as he breaks into the top 15, the top 10, the top 5 rankings of the UFC middleweight division, Floyd is going to gain more notoriety in the sport of mixed martial arts. And he's going to sign more mixed martial artists in the future if Muradov does do well and he continues to do well. Obviously, this is kind of like a test run, a trial that Floyd is running right now, and it is running towards a lot of success. Some of the fighters that I believe that Floyd can sign inside of the UFC himself, obviously there's Israel Adesanya, middleweight champion of the world, and then you've got Francis Ngannou, heavyweight title challenger. You've also got Aljamain Sterling, he was another title challenger in the bantamweight division. Edmund Shabazian, who is a young incomer, who's obviously fighting in the middleweight division as well, just like Muradov. And there's plenty more fighters out there. Obviously, Floyd, the world is basically his toy. He can basically do whatever he wants with it with all the money that he has. He'll continue to sign more mixed martial artists in the future, but he'll do it very, very quietly. That way, he's going by the motto, slow and steady wins the race. That way, the more fighters that he has, the more fighters that he finds by himself without the help of any of these MMA promoters, he'll be able to gain more and more success in the MMA world and maybe eventually have his own entire promotion. He has the money to do so, but I think he wants to stick to the boxing and just sign these MMA fighters on the low, continue to keep raising them up and getting them inside of the UFC and making sure they're as successful as possible. Obviously, he has all the tools, he has all the resources. There's the Mayweather Boxing Gym in Las Vegas, Nevada, the best boxing gym in the whole entire world that you can be able to train at. If you were to put an octagon in there, boom, he's already got an MMA gym right there, a boxing gym all together because he's got all the resources. He's got all the punching bags, he's got all the mitts, he's got all the gloves, you name it. All the equipment that his MMA fighters can possibly be able to use in the future, the shin guards, the headgear, you name it. Floyd, you want it, he can give it to you, and he's putting it out there. And he's going to continue to have more success in mixed martial arts with a slow rise and more of a successful rise. And he's going at it like that instead of going at it real fast. And I can respect that. I really can. So obviously I just wanted to talk about this because I thought it was big news. Floyd Mayweather has a member of the money team in the UFC who happens to be 3-0 with the promotion, riding a 14-fight win streak, and looks like he's only getting better from here on out. So, Floyd, I applaud you for getting into the MMA business. I applaud you for having a fighter in the UFC who's doing so well. And it looks like you're going to have more fighters in the future that are going to fight for the UFC, and you're going to continue to delve into this sport of mixed martial arts as we speak. So, obviously, I applaud Floyd for that, and the whole entire money team as well for taking a chance on an MMA fighter that's not from the U.S., that's from Uzbekistan, who's trying to make a difference for his country, who's trying to, obviously, he's trying to get young kids out there to be something else other than wanting to play soccer. He wants them to be able to become fighters, to fight for their own futures, and they have successful ones at the same time. So definitely a good message that's being put out there overall. And I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I thought I'd put out those news. I thought it was very important to actually spread out that Floyd Mayweather has had his mark on the UFC for about 2 years now, and it's going to continue forward as long as Magomedov is still around with the promotion. Appreciate you guys for watching this video. Stay safe, stay blessed, and we'll see you guys soon. Later.